Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We're here with another war video. This is War 5 of Season 42, and Matrix has matched up against XMN W. So we did start off the season 0-3, and then we just won War 4. So we are 1-3 entering this war, and we did deserve an easy matchup after how we lost the first war. First three wars. But we have the team today of Kingpin, Hood, and Warlock, which is an interesting team because I'm actually not able to get Mr. Sinister for the synergy, and I really don't like playing Hood when the meta for the global is a power gain node. Or sorry, I meant Kingpin. I said Hood. I mean, I don't like playing Kingpin. But we have to do that today. So we're on Path 9, Section 1, and Section 2, and then we do have a few mini-bosses as well. We have 1, 2, 3 mini-bosses. So, first off, we have this Quicksilver on the first node, and I did boost decently light for this. Although, I guess I throw on a regen. Yeah, that makes sense. Regen over invuln. Smart. Oh, and then I switched it to an invuln. I guess I misclicked initially. So yeah, this is a pretty straightforward fight. Unfortunately, because it's Kingpin, I will always have a Fury, I will always have a debuff on me, which means that the defender will always have that passive Fury on them, which triples their attack rating, which can make fights a little sketchy. But it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Here, I miss time countering the SP1, and I actually get parried, but because of my 65% ability accuracy reduction from the degeneration on the SP1, I made the parry fail, and even if it hadn't failed, this Hood synergy would have guaranteed I shrugged it off, so it wasn't a big deal. This Weapon X here, I've actually taken this fight before, and I died to it with Warlock because, in my opinion, Warlock is not a great counter to it because of the fact that you have to wait out Incinerate mode, and he is insanely aggressive. This video won't start. Hello. I literally just did this 10 minutes ago. I downloaded the video. Is it really going to make me do it again while I'm in the middle of a recording just so I can play the video? Like, come on. Honestly, I might just keep this fight out of the video. Yeah, okay. In this video... Damn. Are you serious? Dude, I literally did this 10 minutes ago. I downloaded every video again. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to have to wait out this stupid downloading symbol in the middle of the war video. So if you're watching this, literally just skip like 20-30 seconds forward, and you won't have to deal with this dumb stuff. But the reason I can't skip this video is because this video actually contains my death for the war. So, yeah. This is amazing that we have to do this. I literally did this 10 minutes ago. Why do I have to re-download the clip? I hope this doesn't happen for the other ones as well, because that would just be absolutely miserable. And if it happens for more than this one, I will just cut it out of the video. Like, I'll just cut the video and then take that middle part out, put it together. But this is really dumb. Let's just wait. It's so close now. I've never had this happen before. I've never had to download a video while I was recording, because normally downloading them once is enough, but apparently not this time. Okay, it's almost done. It's like 1% left. Still holding on. Come on. Come on, just that little tiny bit. There we go. Okay. And now I should be able to play it. Dude. Are you serious? You can't be serious right now. What is... Okay, finally it started. It started. You know what? No more complaining. The video started. So, I had someone double a path with me on path 9, and they brought Red Hulk for that Weapon X, who is a way better counter than Warlock. And he'd absolutely destroy the fight. But we are going to go for Warlock here against this Toad. And Warlock is immune to both poison. Oh, I guess this node applies poison, or this fight applies poison in 2 different ways, so you really only need poison immunity. I could have brought Penny. In hindsight, I probably should have brought Penny, because then the fight would have been over a lot faster, especially because Warlock is literally only for this one fight. But it's fine, because if you don't know, Penny is immune to both poison and incinerate. So she would have been a smarter move, and I did consider her, but I just thought I would be fine with Warlock because it's his only fight. I did hit him one time during incinerate mode, and he actually did incinerate me, which was bad RNG because I think it's only a 30% chance. But here we are able to go and throw our second SP2, and I'm actually going to make a mistake here. Right here, I'm going to eat a heavy, because if I hadn't eaten the heavy, I could have countered the heavy and gone straight to an SP2 and done a second one. Whereas right now, I run the risk, if I throw it, of getting an incinerate activation early, him activating the Fury, and then all future incinerates being powered up by that Fury. And if I get too many incinerates, I'm going to die from that SP2 alone. So here, trying to bait a heavy to get him to, so that I can counter the heavy with an SP2, but he just would not stop hitting into my block. Pushed me to an SP3, which unfortunately is going to result in a little bit of delay. It's not that bad, because I'm actually going to hit through the incinerate phase here. I'm just going to keep smacking him with heavies until he falls. Like right here, I'm just going to keep hitting him through incinerate. I only had to hit him 3 times, and he does die there. So that was Warlock's only fight, like I said, but now we're about to come into the fight that I die, and that is going to be this Professor X. Now, this Hazard Shift Professor X, Kingpin can work for. I don't recommend it unless you have Mr. Sinister Synergy, and the reason I say that is because there's a lot of ways this fight can go wrong without it. There's Aggression Prowess first off, which feeds the global, and then there's the prowess he'll get from me hitting him. And also once in this fight, I'm going to tank an L2 to the face, and that's going to give him prowess as well. But generally, I think there are just better counters, honestly, than this. So we're going to try to bait out SP1. He does not want to throw it. There he finally throws it, but he's building up prowess. We activate the miss. I do my normal thing where I do a few hits and then get ready for another combo. And I'm going to try to spam Special 1 in this fight. There's one issue with spamming Special 1. I'm going to pause the video. There's one issue with spamming Special 1 against Professor X using Kingpin, and that is that when the miss timer ends, so the miss can be activated again, you can make it fail if you have a degen up. And then, like, let's say you're not anticipating it failing, then you can waste time because obviously you would have to reset it again if it failed. And then if it didn't fail, you might not be ready for it. But right here is where the mistake is going to come in the fight, so that's why I paused. So when he, as a defender, reaches 100, and as an attacker too, but he doesn't naturally reach 100 as an attacker unless you land heavy attacks, or you throw the SP1 and then you like sit at the back to get charges, or you sit back in the screen. But as a defender, he will naturally reach it, and the SP2, when the AI knows that they're going to go unblockable, they will throw specials into your block. It happens all the time. It's happened for me with Doom dozens of times, and with Professor X especially. So just watch this. First SP2, I dex. Second one, I go into counter. He throws it into my block. Straight up, I didn't react in time. Like, that's all there is about that fight. I didn't react in time. And he built up so many prowess because of that the power gain got out of hand. He got to special 3 and he killed me. If you notice, when he threw that special 2, It was exactly 3 hits that connected, which means that mine vulnerability boost was gone. So even if I hadn't, if I'd eaten 1 less hit of that SP2, I would have survived the SP3 and won the fight. But that's what made me die. So I decided that fight went so bad and it was so early on in the fight that I just decided to force close to save potions, because I know I'd be at half health. And I know that it does lose an attack bonus. Like, I obviously died there. I'm not going to try to claim like I didn't die in that war. But, yeah. Essentially, I'm just going to redo the fight. Still have my invuln on. And just, I need to anticipate his SP2s more, because he is a champion that will throw the special when he is very far away from you with both the SP1 and the SP2. He will do that quite often, actually. So basically I just have to try to create some distance when I'm baiting specials. So here is what the problem, like right there, I'm trying to do 1 hits to activate his miss, but it's just not working because my ability accuracy reduction. And then there, that SP2 he threw into my block was actually before he got to 100 charges, so for that reason he was not unblockable, and I knew that. Like, I knew it was safe to block. It might have looked close because he was almost at 100 charges, but I knew what I was doing. That was not a mistake. And then here, we just got to keep getting him to throw these SP2s. If he goes to SP3, it's no big deal because it only takes off 1 of my vulnerability charges. It only counts as 1 hit. But he's throwing specials like crazy right now, and we are just keeping it up. I just gotta throw this SP1, and then he's pretty much dead after I bait this SP1. And there we go, and he is just going to die right here. So a very clean fight on the second try, but obviously, yes, I did die once. So that, if you'll notice that Spidey Supreme on the right side of your screen right now, that's the fight I took in War 2 of the season, and I actually died. So with Kingpin, by the way, because both of my deaths this season are with Kingpin. I just don't think Kingpin is that great. He can do the fight. He's just not the best option for the fight. And we did send someone else who didn't die. So there we go. This is Path 9, Section 2. This is a rank 4 Scorpion. It's just an unduped one. But this is on the One Eye Open node, which means that I can't stun him or else all damage will be reflected. So I just chose to get my openings by baiting heavies and countering specials. And now we are on to the second fight, which is going to be a Nick Fury. This is pretty much the same node, except instead of One Eye Open, there's Nerves of Steel, so sometimes he'll get those passive armor ups that you have to remove by hitting into the defender's block, but that's not really a huge deal. But this is a very straightforward fight with Kingpin. When I saw this path, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to get assigned this path with Kingpin. Not that big of a deal, because I'm completely fine with it. But there is one point in this fight where I'm going to make a mistake and I'm going to eat an SP1 to the face, because there is an AI trick with Nick Fury where if he is at 16 or more charges, you can actually intercept him while he has an SP1, and he will almost never throw it. Sometimes he still will. But there he was actually at 15, and I didn't notice. I thought he was at 16, and unfortunately he did throw the SP1 into my face. That is the only mistake we're going to make in this fight. The fight is pretty much over. He's just entered his second life. I make the decision right here based on how much power I have that I'm going to throw my special 2, and that is just going to guarantee that he gets pushed to his special 2. That was the main reason for it. And here I could have taken a hit to the face and used my Unstoppable to make an assisted intercept, which would have killed him, but it would have cost more potions because I still have 1 fight left. So I decided to just bait out the SP2, and there we go. That fight went down. We're on to our last fight, which is a R4 spot on the... Or sorry, a rank 5 spot, an R5 spot on the Hazard Shift mini-boss, node 49. And this is going to be quite a long fight because, of course, he is... I wouldn't say he's an annoying defender, but he's definitely a defender that you have to know the hard defensive parts about him. Because if you don't know what you're doing with the porta block charges and the miss, he is really someone that can mess you up. I do know how to fight him. I do know, like, that's not a problem with me. He is one of the champions I did learn how to fight. And essentially when he hits 5, you're just going to want to hit into him like that to trigger miss. It may have looked like I just went YOLO and just like kept hitting into him. I realized it had a chance to fail because I had a degen up. So I just anticipated it and was ready to do a second hit. And then when I was watching the fight, like when I was doing the fight, I noticed, oh, hey, I can keep hitting now because I made it fail. But yeah, you just got to watch out for that this fight. That is the nice thing about Kingpin in this matchup, is that you can make it fail, which is going to save you a lot of time. I also practiced countering his heavy just to make sure I had it down. But here he throws another SP1, and I'm pretty good at countering it safely. And then there it happens again, where we make his miss fail. And this guy was actually really nice about throwing specials. He is going to go to SP2, but it's not going to be until the very end of the fight that he goes there. We do land that nice open intercept, which gets us another SP1. And that degen is doing serious damage. It is doing really nice damage. So here we're trying to bait a heavy or a special. He does throw a special. So now we're going to dex and then counter. There we made the charges fail, but we didn't activate untouchable, so I had to do it again. There we go. And now I just have to kill him. He is almost dead. I know you're not supposed to hit into his block because it feeds him charges. I don't really find it that annoying. Like, I don't think it matters that much. So I usually don't care. But here I'm just going to bait a heavy. And despite the fact that it looked like he may react in time to throw the special, he actually, after he stands back up, he has to stand there for a minute and do nothing before he can activate a special. So I was countering that safely. And we did end up winning this war with a score of 5-19. So a pretty convincing win, which makes us 2-3 on the season. I have a total of 2 deaths and a PSR, a personal solo record is what that stands for, by the way, unless if you're a new viewer or you haven't seen my war videos in a long time. And 20 out of 22 is 91% solo rate. And my deathless streak is at 3 fights, because I only had Scorpion, Nick Fury, and Spot after that. And the title of this video is I Hate Kingpin. Kingpin was originally ranked up as a defender, both for Battlegrounds and for War. And a defender with an offensive upside. And this season was actually the first time I've ever used him on War offense. And I don't like him. I've never liked Kingpin. I don't know what it is about him I don't like. I think he is personally overrated a little bit. I don't think he's as good as people say he is. I definitely don't think he's worth rank 5. Not even close. But yeah, I just don't like Kingpin. And I told my officer that. And I said, please just don't assign me Kingpin. If you have to take him to place him on War, do that. I just don't want to use him anymore in War. I'm very good with Valkyrie, so please just assign me Valkyrie Wars, and I will take it. So yeah, that is all for this war, and you guys can be expecting a lot of Valkyrie gameplay this season coming forward, including a rank 5 Wong boss next war. So yeah, that's all for today, and I will see you all later. Have a great